Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. And this is almost like the old news days. I've got Kim Stark with me. So she's my new co anchor on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I've got a new gentleman who's going to be working with us right now out on 58th and Main in Springfield. A bunch of teachers are out there. These are teachers who do not want to take the vaccine. And the district is going to actually, I'm going to put it this way, they're holding them hostage. They're going to make them stay on their contract. They can't get another job until at least for 3 months and probably longer. And so there's a lot of very unhappy people and parents as well, because you're going to have a lot of parents whose kids are going to be, I just heard today, and we'll ask about this. Where was that? Oh, it's coming up in Bill London's newscast that the standards and practices group with the teachers union is waiving the bachelor's degree. So most teachers have to have a bachelor's degree, but now we're going to water it down so that you can just have people without a bachelor's degree in teaching your children. I'd like to know how you feel about that. So comment in our page, because I think that's kind of weird. All of a sudden, we're going to change the standard because you're letting these teachers go. So let's go live right now. This is Corbin Tolan. Corbin, thanks for being with us. Corbin is a licensed massage therapist out of Lebanon who does this on the side. And I've been watching his stuff and said, I want you to come on and let's just try this and see what happens. And I thought, Corbin is used to rubbing people the right way. I'm going to teach him to rub people just the wrong way. So, yes. Corbin, take it away. What's going on out there?
Yeah, it's really busy out here, Rick. You got students out here, you got teachers out here, you got people from other areas. I mean, like I said, we're from Lebanon. You've got people coming in. We interviewed some people from Cardwell. There's a lot of support out here for this because people know this is going to keep spreading. And right now I got with me Mr. Cardwell, who is one of the teachers at one of the Springfield schools, and we're going to get some words from him right now on kind of what's going on with his life and what everything looks like.
Hey, I just want to say before we get started, I love the support. This is awesome. What an incredible rally. As a teacher that received the religious exemption and is looking at maybe in 2 weeks not having a job, this support is incredible.
Yeah. Thank you again. Obviously, you have to be out here, but we totally support you on this.
Well, it's nice to see everybody honking their horn. Nice to see everybody out here when it's not sunny and it's raining, and they're out here just saying, hey, we need to stop this madness.
Right. And so we were talking a little bit earlier. How long does this exemption last for?
Well, we were told that our last day is going to be October 18th, and then the unpaid leave will start on the 19th, and that will go for the remainder of the school year.
Right. And that's literally just kind of hanging these people in limbo here. They're literally not getting fired, but they can't go find another job like Rick had talked about. You're really kind of holding them against the wall here. So, and, what's next? So that's why we're out here. This has got to stop. So, as like I said, I was really impressed with one of the kids here. He's a 17-year-old guy. He's out here and he literally is supporting his teachers because he feels that this is completely wrong for them to be advocate or telling his teachers that they have to put something in their body that they don't agree with. They want the choice to be able to choose what they think is best for their health, which is completely fair and has always been fair. I mean, that is like the most ethical thing that we run by in the medical field.
So Corbin, how many people are out there?
That's really kind of inspired you?
I just, the support is incredible. I know the teachers that I know that received this exemption, we want to teach. We love kids.
Right.
We want to go about our business of helping kids navigate getting through this pandemic.
Yeah.
And so we want there to be a compromise. We just want to teach. And, I know the bus drivers want to drive their buses. The cafeteria workers want to help out the kids for as far as nutritional needs. And we just want to do our job.
Not that simple. Like, there should be a compromise here. There is definitely a compromise that should be able to be done here. But anything else? I think we're going to kind keep going down the line here in a minute. Anything else you have?
We're good. Thank you, Corbin.
Thank you again.
Appreciate it. All right, you guys, that's Corbin Tolan working on the street for us. Again, that's going on tonight. It's out there on 58th and Main. These are teachers and other people who are supporting them, standing with them. So let me, I'm going to introduce Bill London from KPNW, who's doing a news segment for us. And here, you got to listen for these stories, because I think it is going to really open your eyes to something pretty interesting. One is he's talking about a proposal in Portland where one of the city commissioners is talking about reducing gun violence by using those big orange traffic cones. I am not kidding you. That's a real proposal. So let's listen more in with Bill London. And then coming up is Kim Stark, and we're going to talk about elements of a healthy life right after this.
Hey, from the KPNW News Center and the Wake Up Call, I'm Bill London, and I'm here to break things. Here's a look at some of the stories we've got today. So the clock has run out for healthcare workers and teachers to get their coronavirus shot in time for the vaccination mandate deadline that was decreed by Governor Kate Brown for October 18th. And next month, there's another deadline coming up, and that's for Oregon state workers. Those who don't get their shots likely are going to find themselves out of a job. Now, the Employment Department estimates that slightly more than half of all jobs in Oregon fall under either state or federal vaccine guidelines. They're going to be going into effect in the coming weeks. And nobody is saying if the mandates are going to push up unemployment rates. Of course, they're not going to say that. However, workers fired for refusing vaccinations likely will not qualify for unemployment benefits, particularly those who are denied exemptions for medical reasons or religious beliefs. Now, along those lines, quietly last week, the Oregon Teacher and Standards Commission issued a temporary rule for emergency substitute teaching licenses. Why would they do that? The license will actually waive the bachelor's degree requirement, unlike the current substitute teacher's license that requires the degree. To obtain an emergency license, an applicant has to be sponsored by a specific Oregon school district, an education service district, or a charter school, and those aforementioned districts and schools have to cover the cost of those licenses. The applications have to be submitted before March 31st of next year, and if they get them before December 31st of this year, they're going to be good through June 30th of next year, 2022. Of course, the applicant is going to have to pass a background check and be fingerprinted, and if they pass, then they're going to be able to go into the classroom. It's been a busy summer for COVID-19 employment litigation in Oregon, and attorneys are bracing for a flood of lawsuits as companies try to navigate the headaches that have accompanied the pandemic. Specifically, attorneys are anticipating lawsuits around issues like vaccine mandates and remote work disputes, with both of those issues presenting the potential for discrimination claims. So far in Oregon, between April of last year and the end of September this year, there have been 54 COVID-related lawsuits filed in Oregon. Nationwide, 3,500 have been filed. One area that's emerging as far as pandemic-related litigation is disputes over denials of accommodations for remote work that occurred as many employers called their workers back to the office in the summer. And by the way, in Oregon, in the last year, there have been, at this point, 5 lawsuits directly related to actual vaccine policies. Congratulations, fire season is over in Western Oregon. Yes. According to the Oregon Department of Forestry, it is no longer fire season in Western Oregon, Western Lane, and Southern Cascade districts of Oregon Department of Forestry lands. They have declared an end as of today, and that means they've dropped all of the industrial fire precaution restrictions and a lot of the other restrictions. That includes areas of Lane, Benton, Lincoln, Polk, Southern Lynn, and Yamhill counties. You can thank the recent rains, the shorter days, and the cooler temperatures. They still say, though, that if you're going to be doing some sort of burning on your property, keep an eye on it because it could still spread and cause problems. And leave it to Portland to come up with a brilliant way to address crime in that city. Anti-police and anti-law enforcement Portland City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty has come up with a new and brilliant way to reduce gun violence in the crime-ridden city. Orange traffic barrels. Yeah, the ones that you see in road work zones. Those, the orange barrels with the reflective tape. So she has ordered the Portland Bureau of Transportation to install the barrels to curb gun violence in the city, in particular in a 6-block area in the Mount Scott, Arletta neighborhood that has been plagued by shootings. According to Hardesty, those shootings have been linked to people driving fast. So I guess if you're not driving fast, you don't feel as violent. Anyway, workers are also going to be adding another 18 barrels next week. Hardesty said, and I'm quoting, "There are neighborhoods all over Portland that would like to see this kind of close collaboration." Yeah, you've got people dying in your neighborhood. You're complaining to your city councilors and commissioners, and they say, "We'll solve the problem with orange traffic barrels." That's collaboration. That's going to make you feel like it was 50 years ago where you could go to bed with your house unlocked at night and feel safe. And by the way, other countries that, of course, have banned guns are watching to see how effective this is, because if it works, they'll install traffic cones to stop knife violence. All right, it's time to get real with Rick. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 to 9 on the Wake Up Call on 1120 and 93.7 FM KPNW.
Oh, I love that man. Yeah, I can see how traffic cones would stop gun violence. I mean, that makes a whole lot of, I mean, if you really sit and think about it, I think it really makes a lot of sense. Huh. And they wonder why they call Portland weird. Oh, God. It doesn't, and this is real. I mean, we're not making this stuff up. This is real stuff. So I have to also, failed to mention our news segment of every show is brought to you by Chris Dental Family Dentistry, where they don't care if you've been vaccinated or not vaccinated. You will get your dental health taken care of. They believe that your health is important and you shouldn't be judged by whether you've had a vaccine or not. And they'll take patients whether you've been vaxxed or not. They still believe in civil liberties, and they believe that your health care is that important. So that's Chris Dental Family Dentistry in Eugene. Dr. Bratland would love to see you. And just so you know, he's gotten really busy since he came out of the closet talking about things like that, like civil rights and things like that. So he's gotten real busy over that. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. Elements Health Club is going to sponsor our next portion of our segment. And here's Kim Stork. Hey, Kim, how you doing?
I loved listening to Bill.
And, so people can catch him in the mornings. If you're 7 o'clock is the best hour. There's also at 8 o'clock, and he does a run through of all that. So Kim's joining me. Kim used to anchor at KZI, morning show, mid show. I mean, we've all done them all, right?
We did it all. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so she's agreed to come on. And on Tuesdays, we're going to do Elements of a Healthy Life. We were going to do Elements of a Good Life because Kim's married last name is Good. But then, and we thought
good, healthy, it's all related.
But we thought healthy kind of ties in more with Elements, and Elements is our sponsor every Tuesday. So Kim, you have, what do you have for us today? I know Sarah Keepers is nearby.
Yes, I know. How fun. So I know we're not always going to talk about health and fitness and nutrition, even though I'm passionate about those things. I want to incorporate, mental health, and we'll talk about food and things. But today, Sarah has a class coming up, so we're going to talk to her, Sarah Keepers with Elements Health Club. And Sarah is a wonderful instructor. I've taken her classes. They're fun. They're challenging, super challenging. So tell us about your class coming on Saturday.
Hey, Kim. So good to see you. So this Saturday, we're offering a free to the community women's basic self-defense awareness class. So that's at 11:30 this Saturday at our Springfield location.
So
nice. And this is something brand new.
What about men? How come it's just women?
Well, this one is for women, Rick. We would love to offer one to you as well. But right now we're going to focus on women and even girls down to age 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rick, you'll get your turn. Okay, so tell us why it's so important. What are you so passionate about this? I mean, is this brand new? Have you taught this before?
So I actually am bringing somebody in. I've offered self-defense classes through Elements several times. We used to have it regularly on our schedule, weekly self-defense classes for women. The thing about self-defense is it's something that it's not a one and done. I mean, one class is better than nothing, but just like a muscle, just like anything else, Kim, that repetitive muscle memory, like the more you train something in general in life in any capacity, obviously the better equipped you're going to be to utilize that. And so for me, it's a really important thing. You know, I'm all about empowerment of people in general, but especially these times, it's like we're so distracted. We live in such a distracted state, constantly on our phones, constantly preoccupied, that we're not aware of our surroundings, and attacks happen more often than we ever want to see or admit.
Right. And I know, like what you're saying, it's a muscle. I've taken a couple of those classes, and I mean, there's a lot to it, but once you do it and get that in your head, you'll be prepared for when the time comes. So I love that idea. Is this open to just gym members? How are you guys doing that this summer?
No, this is open to anyone in our community. So any female, again, ages 10 and up. If you're under the age of 15, we want you there with a guardian. But all women, it can be members of Elements. It can be anybody that sees this show, anybody here. You know, it's so important to us to serve, to reach as many people as we can. To me, this is one of those things that it's for my daughter, for my family, it's like, it's non-negotiable. You've got to have some of these tools, even the very basic. You know, Saturday, we're just going to cover 10 basic self-defense strategies that really everybody, female and male, should know.
Okay, got it. That sounds great, Sarah. And I know Sarah's a great instructor. Rick and I have both had you, so it'll be a great class. Rick, you can't come this time.
No, not this time. We have our one male instructor, our one male is going to be our instructor, Gino. He's coming down from Portland. This is something he does on a regular basis. I am very excited for him to share his knowledge with us.
Well, you can show up at 9 o'clock for the spin class, and then you can stay afterwards for some HIIT.
Yeah.
And with the hockey players, you guys, it was so fun last week, Kim. She has all the U of O hockey players are now taking classes from Sarah, so she's conditioning them. And they're like these wild guys that are just having so much fun. So they come to class, and it's like this energy that you're like, oh my gosh! It's so. I mean, we had a ton of people in there. And
yeah, there's about 40 people, and so they're going to continue. So we are partnered with the University of Oregon Ducks hockey team. And I had the pleasure of training them for the last 2 weeks, and they are excited to jump into our classes. So it's fun, you know, as members and people to come to our club and get to have that experience of training with these athletes. And it's just fun. It just adds a great element. You know, Rick, you did keep right up with him. So that's impressive.
But when it came to dodgeball, I opted out.
Yeah, let's keep ourselves safe.
These are tough guys, you know. They're used to going puck, you know, and I was going, I don't want to be in the end of your puck, so I'm gonna sit this out. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
I know you have a class at 5:30. Get going. So Kim, what do you got for us tonight?
Okay, so let's talk some more about fitness. What I found, I think I was telling you a little bit about this the other day, is so you know how everybody's always got a New Year's resolution. Let's lose weight. Let's shed a few pounds. Instead of focusing on just the weight, let's focus on gaining movement. So this article was, it was done, there were a couple of different studies that they found that people, when you're on a diet, you know, these fad diets or you're counting your calories, that's great. Obviously, obesity is an issue, but to just focus on increasing your movement, little things like walking or taking a bike ride or taking the stairs instead, the movement is so important, and people sometimes tend to forget that. So even if you're not necessarily losing the weight or looking even, you might not even look more trim, you're still healthier overall. So they're saying to put more of the focus on actually moving. Now, exercise, brain health, right? So improve your memory and increase your lifespan and all of the stuff that comes with it, reducing our depression, things like that we're dealing with. But I just love that this focused on the gaining the movement. And I mean, Rick, you and I have been at the gym several times together, so we know how fun and exciting it can be, and mixing it up too.
You know what I like about that too, Kim, because I was reading an article that said if you walk 5 miles, you will basically burn off the same amount of calories as if you run it. But it's that you're walking it. But and I think people sometimes think I have to be exerting and sweating. It's still good. So if you're someone who's not healthy, and you can get out there and walk around the block and then start doing 2 blocks and doing more. And that is exercise, and it is burning off calories, and it is getting your head in a better space.
Right. And that does add up. And like people who have a Fitbit and you look at your steps and how many you do. And sometimes people are just amazed by how many steps they actually do take in a day. So that all adds up. Plus, sometimes people say, well, I don't have time. I realize we don't all have 2-3 hours to spend at the gym. We've got kids, we've got busy lives, but even 20 minutes, if instead of saying, no, I only have 20 minutes, I'm not going to do it. Do that 20 minutes. I promise you will always feel better. No matter what. And it always helps. Any little bit helps. So yeah, it's nice, especially for our kids to know.
What I've been doing is I walk into, like, I'm going to an office space and there's 2 floors up. I'll go take the stairs and I see how many people don't. And what's really funny to me, and I understand some people, at our gym, we have elevators.
Right.
And I think that's great, right? Because there's some people that can get up and do some exercise, but they can't get up the stairs. But then there's other people that can do the stairs, and I see them come to the gym and they're taking the elevator. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Right.
Like, that is such a ripoff. You just ripped yourself off on getting up to the, doing that stairway. So
yeah, you just cheated yourself, or driving when it's around the block. You just cheated yourself, right? I mean, we love our liquid rain here. Let's get out and today is a perfect day. Get out there. It's raining. It feels good.
And it's with you. You have 2 kids. You don't have any shortage of exercise.
How did you guess, Rick? Oh yeah, you've met them. So that no shortage. I mean, they always say I don't play with them enough, right? It's never enough. And they're going to be outdoing me on the monkey bars and all that stuff, of course. But it does keep you young, doesn't it? To try to keep up at the park. Oh, come play with us. And even though I don't want to, I'm like, okay, I'm getting my workout in. I'll chase you.
What I find is really interesting, and I've said this on my show before, but not with you, is how, with the COVID and everything, we focus so much on masking and social distancing and all of that. But I haven't seen a lot of focus. Most of the people who are dying from this have comorbidities, which is diabetes, overweight, that kind of stuff. There hasn't been a real push, which is why I'm glad that Elements is sponsoring this, because we can get people are so afraid. And here's something you can do that's proactive rather than reactive.
Right.
And really, those are the people. It doesn't mean if you're in shape. I know people in shape who've gotten COVID too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It means that you're going to be a lot better off, and your chances of dying from this are way less if you're active and doing things and out there, participating in stuff.
Yep. Not to mention what it does to the mind when we're, especially during the lockdowns. I mean, if you didn't have an ability to do it at home, even walking outside, that's what we're saying. So you can always find, I know, Rick, you like to swim. We like to swim. So swimming doesn't hurt, things that you can find, that something that you will just be able to do even 4 days a week. It makes such a big difference. And so you're right, though. People are not focusing on what we can do to actually help. Yeah.
All right. Kim Stark, thank you for joining us and doing this. Now, tell them what you're going to do on Thursday.
Okay. So Thursday, we're going to talk about upcoming events for the weekend. And we have a couple of people who have already emailed us. If you guys have anything you want us to cover that's coming up this weekend, so anything, a volunteer related event, fundraisers, anything that you want to have featured, please email and we can get those on the show. We can try to get as many as we can on the show. We like to focus on, Lane County, other areas around here. And then we'll talk to some people too, if they want to do interviews about their upcoming events, which will be fun. And then on next Tuesday, I'll have another different type of health segment relating to actually to mental illness. So
Kim, what is your email?
Okay, so they can reach me at kim@kimstarkmedia.com. Kim@kimstarkmedia. And then those emails, I'll look through it. I'll email you back and we'll talk about how we can either get you an interview if you want to be on the show to talk about your event. Sometimes we can be at the place where your event takes place. Thanks, Rick, put that up there. And a lot of people have emailed saying, would you maybe cover this? We have stuff that we can do down the road. It doesn't have to be for this weekend. So please do give us ideas.
If you have an event coming up, then Kim I'll get it to her too. And then we can get that on our schedule so people know what's happening. Even if we can't get there, at least we know what's going on.
Right.
All right, Kimmy.
Okay, that sounds
Thanks
good.
Thanks, Rick. All right. See you Thursday. All right, you guys. So that's Kim Stark. She's going to be a regular on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tonight, of course, it was Elements Health Club sponsoring our show. And Elements has 3 gyms, one in Springfield, one in at Oakway in Eugene and one at West 11th in Eugene, and they sponsor that every single month. If you're someone out there and you're a business or an agency and you're looking for a way to get your name out there and partner with people, we are love to talk with you. We have a new salesperson working with us, Melissa. She's awesome and she's really fun to be around. And you can get a hold of me and I can get you in touch with her because we're reaching thousands and thousands and thousands of people each month. And it's just our audience is growing and growing and growing. So it's a great way to support the community, to get a different kind of news out there, and also to get your name out there on your business. And we can do whatever we want because we're not commercial television. So if you want to be on the show and talk about it and have a personal relationship with our audience, we're more than happy to bring you on and do something like that. Okay, so what's tomorrow? Tomorrow we have Bill will have his news segment, and then we're going to interview Darren Harbeck. The Harbeck family is very well known up the McKenzie River. They own Dakotas and a lot of other stuff up there. He's running for the U.S. Senate against Senator Ron Wyden. So 7 Levels Drywall is sponsoring our show, and they wanted to have something sponsored on Darren. And so Darren's going to be in here in studio with me tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, and you can come on and ask him questions if you like. And then on Thursday, Kim will be back with our weekend outlook. Bill London will be here as well. And then we also have a couple whose mother notified me, they're a local couple, and they gave up everything, sold their house, bought a piece of property, live in a trailer, and they're building a new house, but they are debt-free. Absolutely debt-free. And they said it's awesome because nobody controls them. And also on Thursday night, we're going to be talking to Mary Sterrett. Mary Sterrett is a Yamhill County commissioner, and Yamhill County declared itself a constitutional county and is not going to abide by the new state's gun laws. And now Mrs. Rosenbaum, the Attorney General, is filing suit against Yamhill and Harney County for doing that. And so on Thursday, the Yamhill County Commissioners are going to make some sort of decision. We're going to have Mary on at 10:05 because she has a meeting at 5:30. She'll be on at 10:05 to talk about what they do and that gun issue. So that should be something that will be very interesting to you all. Yeah, we're beefing it up, baby. I want to thank Corbin, too, for jumping in there. He's going to be a semi-regular on here as well. He did a great job tonight. All right, I'm Rick Dancer. Share this on your page. Let other people know what we're doing. It's a new kind of news. It's the kind that includes everybody. So that's what we're all about. Have a good night. See you later.